had seemed little hope that the glory of hosting would ever come their way, despite her parents' tireless mischief efforts. However, this year, an event of mischief most fortuitous had befallen the Maligns. Grandad had won the coordinates to some buried treasure in a game of poker. He gave the coordinates to Pa, who found the treasure chest buried in Samphire Hoe near Dover. Inside the chest, as well as the usual gold goblets, doubloons and strings of pearls, were 2 cutlass swords, their hilts studded with gems the size of golf balls. Ma took the cutlass swords into an antique jeweller's to have them appraised. Unfortunately, or fortunately in Ma's case, when Ma entered the jeweller's, wearing her usual sour expression and brandishing 2 gleaming swords, the staff assumed it was a heist and hastily stuffed all the shop's antiques into a large sack and handed it over to Ma. Ma still doesn't know what the cutlass swords are worth, but she did come away with £82,500 worth of loot, so she didn't feel inclined to complain. When the All Hallows Haunt Association, AHA for short, heard about the Malign's marvellously monstrous mischief-making, they immediately awarded them the task of hosting this year's All Hallows Haunt. It was the single most important thing to have ever happened to the Malign family. Preparations were in full swing. The Maligns were going all out to make this the best All Hallows Haunt ever. Chapter 2. Pixies were pesky at best. In the old formal kitchens below stairs, not used by the family, 2 head chefs, one alive and one dead, were preparing fiendishly disgusting canapes ahead of the festivities. Delicacies such as frog's eye bellinis and tempura toenails would sit beside more traditional nibbles like satay slugs and earwax dip. Not all Topunder taste buds were quite so sophisticated, and so there would be toffee apple pies and popcorn pavlovas for those who preferred simpler fare. A croquembouche as tall as Uncle Vex was being constructed. Each little bun was filled with vanilla pumpkin cream, and the tower was held together with candied spider silk. Ghosts in chef's whites and mop-capped scullery maids flitted about the ancient kitchen absorbed in their tasks. Malice and her sister had already been shooed out of the kitchen once that morning for stealing ghoulberry meringues. Above stairs, the ballroom had been transformed. For many decades, it had been used as a dumping ground for the excess swag and treasure acquired dishonestly by the Malign family. But with the All Hallows Haunt approaching, Ma and Pa had shifted and shovelled the loot out of the ballroom and arranged it in artful mounds all around the house so that their ill-gotten gains could be admired by all. The heap in the entrance hall displayed spoils collected during Ma and Pa's deep-sea dives to shipwrecks. Sitting proudly on top of the doubloons and silver tankards was a ship's figurehead made of solid gold, possibly one of the reasons why the ship sank. The figurehead was a Viking, with a long golden beard, a horned helmet, and 2 Ceylon sapphires for eyes. Legend had it that if you spat in the Viking's left eye, it would grant you a wish, but it had never worked yet, and Malice had really tried. The dining room displayed the royal mounds, rings, watches, necklaces, and all manner of swag swiped from members of the royal families down the centuries. Mary, Queen of Scots' favourite cameo necklace hung from King Ethelred the Unready's sword, which nestled beside a small gold brooch with a painting of 2 corgis in the middle. Ma had pinched the corgi brooch from Queen Elizabeth's lapel when Her Majesty was on a walkabout in Hull. It was one of Ma's proudest achievements. Malice bypassed the ghosts fixing up a guillotine for the party photo booth and ducked beneath a garland of broken glass and deadly nightshade to enter the ballroom. She had never seen the ballroom empty before. It was vast. Secrets hidden by the swag for hundreds of years were now revealed. Magical mirrors ran the length of 2 walls. The glass was speckled with the patina of